In this video, I'm going to explain you how you can use this Snowpack to manage your JavaScript projects. So with Snowpack, you can build your projects pretty fast as compared to the Webpack. In Webpack, you bundle the code, but in Snowpack, it doesn't bundle the code. Using the input syntax, it will directly access the modules instead of bundling it together. So we are going to see why you should Snowpack instead of Webpack. So I have created one project here, and if you look at package.json file, there is this particular package or a library we have downloaded, Snowpack 3.3.0, and then there is another dependency. You can ignore this for now. Now once we have a project, there is another configuration file related to the Snowpack, that is snowpack.config.js, and there you can give lots of other options. As I said, this bundling is by default turned off. That means the code will not be bundled. But if you want to bundle it for the production use, then you can definitely give this particular property optimize, and then you can set these options. Bundle is true, minify true, like that, instead of false. So initially I'm gonna tell you how you can execute this Snowpack build with this attributes false, and then I'm gonna show you how it creates the output directory. So you can see this is the tweet Snowpack, this particular directory is there, and there is no build directory. So what happens is, if you execute this command npx snowpack build, it will create a build directory, and there all the files will be there that you can deploy to the server. So I'm gonna execute this one, and then you will notice that build directory will be created here. So you can see this build directory is created right now, and all these files that are required to run the project are here. So you can see there is a index.js, and then there is h1.js. These separate files are there. These files have not been bundled together. Normally if you bundle it with Webpack, what happens is all these files are clubbed together and then bundled actually. And you will also notice there is another directory underscore Snowpack. So what it contains is actually the files that have been that you have installed in your project. Like this one particular package I have installed, so that's why this JS file is there, and you can see that this file is put separately. It is not bundled together. Normally with the Webpack tool, what happens is that just one file is created, for example main.js, and all the code is bundled together, including all these third-party libraries. Code is also bundled together. This one, then h1.js and index.js, all these files will be clubbed together. So that is what happens in bundling. But in Snowpack, what happens is these files are kept separately, and using the import syntax, it will dynamically import those particular library code. So as you can see in this config.js, we put it as a false. That means code will not be bundled, and that's why these separate files are created. Now let us do another thing. Let us bundle the files. So this is useful if you want to put your application on the production server. You can also do the minify. So with minify, what happens is all the blank spaces, unnecessary things are removed, and the file size will be very less if you put the minify as true. Now let us run the build again. So this time around, what will happen is that just one JS file will be created, and then it will have all the details that are required to run the application. So I just executed that, and this time around, if you look at the, you can see there is just index.js, and h1.js is not there, and then there is a other file was there that is also not there. Like we have imported one library, right? This one is also not there because it is all bundled together in index.js. You can see, and it is also minified. So with minify, all these spaces are removed, blank lines are removed, and that's why it is the file size becomes very small. And there is a source map of this index.js as well. So when we bundle lots of JS files together, what happens is we find that the difficult is file debugging the program, because in the source there are different JS files, but in the production there is just one JS file, so it will be difficult to debug. Like we will not know in which file that error is coming from. So that's why this source map comes into picture. With source map, debugging is simple. It will tell you exactly which file and which line the error is coming from. So in the source map, what happens is you can see this source map has got these sources. That means this index.js, this bundle file is created by bundling all these files, h1.js, then there is a canvas confetti.js and build index.js. All these files have been clubbed together and created one file, that is index.js together. Just one file will be created, and there is a source contents for each of these files. So this is the content for this file, and then there is, after this comma, there is a content for this file, and then finally for this one content will be there. So with source map it is easy for debugging. So once the build is created, these files are generated, and then you can deploy this into the production server. That's it. So that's how you can use the Snowpack. So main benefit of using the Snowpack as compared to the Webpack is that with Snowpack the builds are very faster because the files are not bundled by default. So for in the time of development, we don't need to bundle the files because that is required just for the production, not for the development purpose. For the development, we don't need to bundle, we don't need to like club together the files, and that's when this Snowpack comes into picture. It's very fast as compared to Webpack because bundling is not happening. Thanks for watching this video.